Hey YouTube, so thought I'd do another video since I'm still out riding. The weather improved quite a bit over the last couple of days, so I got about 60 miles in over the last few days. Yesterday, came home and I had with a broken spoke. Now, if you break one spoke on a wheel, it's usually not a problem. But when you start breaking multiple spokes on the wheel, like say if I ride it for another 100 miles and I break another spoke, then it may be time to rebuild the wheel. Now, if you don't have a tweaked rim or there's no problems with your hub, then it's just a matter of going around and replacing all the spokes, and almost anybody can do it. It's not really hard job. It's just a matter of doing it. You just take one spoke out, put another one in the same pattern all the way around. It does require some special tools. You're gonna need a cassette remover and a chain whip. Depending on what kind of rotor you have on the bike, and you may need a Torx or a Allen's wrench set. It's just whatever the manufacturer used, so I can't really say which one you're going to need. On this Verve, you're going to need a Torx bit to remove the rotor. On my side, it broke on the non-drive side. It was a 294 millimeter spoke, so I went to our bike shop in Rockford. It's called Rockford Bike Shop. It's been around for a while. They used to be downtown, then they moved up on the hill on West River Drive, I think it's called. Anyway, this is where I bought the bike. I couldn't get a black one, and the guy told me the black ones seem to be breaking more. And they use quite a few of them on their lineup. They're DT, well, they may be DT. The one that I used to replace it is DT Swiss. Now, they're stainless steel spoke, and it was a single butted spoke, a 14 gauge spoke. So if that's the non-drive side was 294. So my guess is the drive side's going to be about a 291 millimeter if you break it on that side. The drive side is dish different, so it always uses a shorter spoke. That's because of that's where the cassette and everything is. So the spokes are actually flatter on the drive side than they are on the non-drive side. Not that all the bugs would be dead. They're just little flies. So it took me longer to drive to get the spokes than it did to put the spoke in and then true the wheel. There is some warning signs for a spoke breaking. One is an unexplained noise in the back wheel or the front wheel. You can't figure out, you don't see it hitting anything. It just makes a creaking, kind of a creaking noise. It'd make you think that your seat post is making noise, but in fact, it's the spoke making noise. Once it starts creaking, if you can figure out which spoke it is, you should just go ahead and replace it. It could be that the spokes are loose on the wheel and the whole wheel needs to be tightened up or trued. You can take it to your local bike shop at that point. If you don't have the tools, don't mess with it. Just take it to the bike shop. Let them true it. If it's an electric, you may find that the bike shop doesn't have a truing stand to accommodate the wheel width, but most of them should, especially if they have new equipment. They should be able to true that back wheel for you. The front wheel's no problem. Any bike shop should be able to do that. On the electric, it's a 12 gauge spoke. It's either a 3.3 millimeter spoke wrench or a 4. I'm thinking it's a 3.3, but I might be wrong on that. On this wheel, it's just go ask them for a black spoke wrench by Park. Spend the $6 or $7 to get one. It's better quality. It fits the spoke right. It's a black. I think it's called a BK or Zero, maybe. I don't know exactly, but it's the black spoke wrench. Um, I have. I only have two of the Park ones right now. I have a black and a red one. I'm not sure what the red one fit on. It's none of the bikes I have now, so it must have been one I've had in the past. So I trued up the wheel. It wasn't terribly off. The wheel's not making noise now, so that spoke has been, I would say, has been on the verge of breaking for probably a month. I assumed it was just the chain on the old before I changed the chain. I just assumed it was the chain making all that noise, but in fact, it was a spoke was ready to break and it broke. I didn't film it. My wife doesn't like me filming in the house, not because it's dirty. She just doesn't like it, have to shut all the noise on the music off in the house to have me film. So I didn't film it. It didn't take me long. It took me longer to get the part than to fix it. So I put a silver one on. You can see it quite easily, but it also tells me which ones I've already replaced when it comes time to replace more. When you buy your spokes, if you're going to do the whole wheel, I believe this is a 32-hole wheel, so you're going to need 16 at 294 and 16 at 291. The front wheel, I have no idea. It's probably the front wheel spokes are all going to be the same. So if you break one and you measure it, you'll be able to figure out what you need right away. It looks like the flange on the front wheel is the same, so I'm going to say it's probably a 294. Most bike shops will carry those sizes. It's going to be if you have the electric, you're going to have a problem finding a bike shop that has spokes for that wheels. You can buy them on eBay or Amazon, and electric does advertise what the spoke lengths are. So if you need some spokes for your electric, you'll have to go on and ask electric what size they are. I don't know off the top of my head. I know they're 12 gauge, and it's normal for you on your electric to have to tighten spokes twice a season. When it heats up, the spokes are going to get longer, and when it cools down, they get tighter. So as the weather changes, so does the spoke length. A properly trued wheel won't do that, but we all know that all these wheels are machine built, and then they throw them on a truing stand to see how true they are, and if they need adjusting, they adjust them real quick, but they don't spend any time checking spoke tension. So you've rambled on long enough. If you have any questions about how to figure out what you need or what parts you need to fix the wheel or anything like that, I was going to do a video of me servicing the wheel, but neither one of my wheels need servicing yet. I checked the grease in the back wheel and it's fine. There's still plenty and it doesn't look too dirty, so I'm not going to mess with them this year. I might do it next spring. So it was kind of disappointing to break a spoke at a 2145, 2,145 miles, but it could have been just a fluke. I've been riding over this bump down here on the trail pretty hard, and that could have broke a spoke fairly easily. So keep that in mind. That's going to be the symptoms. Going over the symptoms again. You're looking for an unexplained noise in the back or the front that you can't explain away. It's not shifting noise, or if it's not brake noise, then it's possibly spoke noise. Look at your spokes. You may not be able to see anything that's showing that it's going to break, but eventually it will break, and then you can replace it And that's it. Hey, if you're out here in the Greenville Belding area, the trail's been pretty much blown off. I was getting quite tired of the chain eating leaves, and mean have to stop every once in a while to clean them out. But he yesterday he was out with a blower and blew off all 7 miles of this trail. I don't know how much he blew off on the other side, but he blew this all off. There's a few leaves on the trail, but it's not gonna bother you. So get out and thank you, the trail manager, if you see him. Let me dig in here and see if I can find the card. I don't have his card in here. His name is Robert something. Get out if you see him out on the trail. He drives a black Chevy truck. Say hi to him. And another update. I talked to him the other day. They have a grant, a proposal for the Smyrna Hill on the Flat River Trail to pave it. He said they haven't got an answer yet, but that's their plan, is to pave that 3,300 feet of trail there. I would love to be able to ride towards Lowell again instead of just to Greenville. That length of trail there is 12 miles to Lowell, and it's a nice trail. Only problem is that hill right now. If they get the hill paved, I'll be out riding again, and maybe I'll get some video of me out there in springtime riding that part of the trail. You have a great day. Hope you can you get out there and ride that bike. Like, subscribe. Any questions, put them in the comments. Thanks.